Virginia's female slaves vanished for months, leaving overseers and townsfolk bewildered, whispering rumors of escape, sickness, or secret buyers. Each woman was last seen at dusk, moving toward cabins that stood empty by morning, their doors creaking in the twilight breeze. Patrols scoured swamps and ravines, boots sinking in mud, lanterns flickering against the mist, until they stumbled upon a hidden limestone cut, concealed beneath ivy and fallen trees. Inside, a network of chambers stretched for decades beneath the plantation roads, carved by hand with meticulous care. Food stores lined the walls. Coded songs echoed softly through hidden passages, and tiny marks guided those who dared to resist. The women had not fled. They had organized, survived, and created an entire underground world beyond the eyes of their oppressors. Shadows danced on the walls as the patrols realized that resistance had been living beneath their feet the entire time. The discovery forced a truth Virginia could no longer ignore. The enslaved were not victims alone, but architects of their own survival. The patrols reported their findings, but many refused to believe the extent of what lay beneath the plantations. Whispers spread like wildfire among the wealthy, fearful of a secret they had walked over for decades. Scholars and historians would later uncover fragments of coded messages etched into stone, songs that carried warnings, and tunnels that connected multiple estates, a hidden web of resilience. The women's ingenuity was unmatched. Underground gardens, concealed water channels, and escape routes mapped to the tiniest detail. Each passage seemed alive, as if the walls themselves remembered every footstep, every whispered plan. The plantations above thrummed with ignorance, oblivious to the silent rebellion below, yet the network endured, growing bolder with each passing year. Their story was not one of despair, courage carved in stone and sung in secret. And in the shadows, the echoes of their resistance lingered, daring anyone who listened to remember the power of the unseen. As months passed, the patrols grew desperate, attempting to flush the women out, but the underground network anticipated every move. Lanterns in the swamps revealed only shadows. Footsteps echoed through empty corridors, yet no one emerged. One night, under the cover of a storm, the women executed a daring plan. They led select patrols into false passages, while majority escaped through concealed tunnels toward the distant forests. The sound of rushing water masked their flight, and coded songs carried warnings to those left behind. Above, overseers cursed and stumbled through mud, unaware that their prisoners had orchestrated every misstep. When dawn broke, the plantations were eerily silent, the hidden chambers abandoned, yet alive with the memory of courage. The women's defiance had rewritten the rules of survival, leaving a trail of unseen rebellion that would echo through history. And though the earth had swallowed their presence, the truth could not be buried. Freedom, once imagined and meticulously planned, could never be fully contained. Years later, historians and local storytellers pieced together fragments of the underground network, uncovering murals, carved symbols, and whispered songs that had survived generations. The plantations above had long since changed hands, but the tunnels remained, silent witnesses to courage and defiance. Scholars realized that what had been written off as disappearances was actually a testament to resilience, a rebellion conducted in shadows, beneath the very eyes of oppressors. Descendants of those women carried stories of ingenuity, survival, and secret knowledge that had shaped entire communities. The limestone chambers, once hidden, visitors walking the old plantation roads could feel a weight in the earth. A reminder that history is not only in textbooks, but in the silent footprints of those who dared to fight invisibly. In the end, the women's legacy was immortal. Proof that even in darkness, courage and intelligence can carve paths to freedom that no chains can contain generations later. The story of Virginia's female slaves survived mostly in whispers and scattered records, overlooked by textbooks, but preserved in oral memory. Archaeologists discovered hidden artifacts, hand-carved tools, faded song sheets, and secret passage markers, clues to a resistance that had operated under absolute secrecy. Museums began to recognize the network not as myth, but as a symbol of ingenuity and defiance, showing that enslaved women had actively shaped their own fates. The plantations above were silent, yet the tunnels below spoke volumes, echoing lessons of courage, strategy, and unity. Visitors standing over the limestone cuts felt an uncanny awareness. The earth itself remembered those who had walked beneath it. Scholars, writers, and storytellers began to reconstruct their lives, shining a light on histories that had been deliberately buried. And in every retelling, the truth remained undeniable. Even in the darkest oppression, the human spirit can engineer survival, rebellion, and hope that cannot be chained. Centuries later, the tunnels lie mostly hidden, but the stories carved into stone and sung in secret still resonate. Local legends speak of shadows moving beneath the earth, of women who defied chains with cunning and courage, shaping destinies unseen. Historians now piece together their brilliance. Escape routes, coded messages, and underground communities that challenge the very foundations of slavery. Each artifact discovered tells of determination, strategy, and unity, revealing how resistance can flourish even under oppression. Artists and researchers alike feel the weight of history beneath their feet, a chilling reminder that the earth itself keeps secrets. The women's courage became more than survival. It became a symbol, inspiring generations to fight injustice with intellect, secrecy, and resilience. And though centuries have passed, their whispers echo still, proof that even in darkness, the human spirit can carve its own path to freedom.